I think that the pain that I've experienced and the pain that I've caused are a big part of why I create, just to have something to give back. But at this point, it's also how I process the world around me. Hi, my name's Sam McCauley. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm a mixed media visual artist with an emphasis in community art and relational aesthetics. Being able to tell your story isn't easy. It's something that takes time. I think because at a young age, I was in the news for for the worst decision of my life. It's been hard to kind of work my way back from that and want to share anything. Through creating art, I've been able to heal in different ways. Everything comes back to the strong relationships that I have. The relationship that I have with my wife has been the catalyst for a lot of great things in my life, including art. Because I had a creative lens to deal with a difficult environment and a difficult stretch of time in my life, I think the art educators had the biggest influence in how I got through that situation and where I would like to go. And why I care so much about organizations like ArtForce and the work that they do with youth in corrections specifically. There's so many systems that aren't prepared for the pain that we all experience, right? It's easy for people to get left behind and for people to become forgotten. Thinking back to the experience of being imprisoned in the United States, there's a lot of people that are not thought of and forgotten. And I think if there's any kind of art programming that I could pursue in that environment, at grad school would hopefully give me the credibility to do something like that. There's a high school sculpture professor who he'd come and visit me, and he wrote letters often. He encouraged me to pursue whatever opportunities I could in that environment. He's really good about building connections with people and creating community. In piloting different project ideas with prisoners specifically, I've taken photos of drawings and letters that I've sent to incarcerated people. It's kind of a way of taking something that's older in terms of drawing and letters. I mean, letter writing's been around forever, right? In a place where you don't really get to have anything, it's an artifact of a world that hopefully could care about you. Maybe not in this exact moment, but one day, right? It's your only bridge to somebody who might care about you. Art in general, when done well, can enhance relationships, right? Letters are definitely an extension of that. There's a French curator, Nicolas Bourriard, who talks about relational aesthetics. You're not just a painter, you're not just a sculptor, but whatever process that you're pursuing creatively, if it's ultimately meant to foster a relationship in some way, that's more the goal than a strictly aesthetic experience, if that makes sense. Looking at each material as a point of liberation for like an idea, right? Like a vehicle for a new thing to learn or something to explore. Art in that way makes me feel free. At ArtForce's First Friday exhibit on March 7th, my goal is to show paintings, some plaster casts and some photo collages, but also to build connections with people in the community, right? I'd like the exhibit to be called Time Together. It's inspired by a current art historian named Nicole Fleetwood. She wrote a book called Marking Time, and she talks a lot about Black women in America specifically have been tasked with holding community together. I think I would like my artwork to do what it's already done a lot of, which is to build relationships, use it as a means to connect with people. All of my social media can be found on my website, sammaccauley.com.
Thanks for watching. To see more videos from us, like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. ArtForce.io is supported by community members like you. Please consider becoming a monthly donor by visiting our Network for Good link listed down below to support our mission of creating opportunities for youth to transform through art. Bye.